Okay, so we're going to make a bass sound similar to Kevin Saunderson, who's a famous producer. Look him up. And he made something called a Reese bass. Okay? So I want you to put an operator on a track, arm it so we can hear it. And I'm just pressing A on my computer. Okay? We're going to work with oscillator A. And we're going over here to the wave type. We're going to choose a sawtooth, a saw D wave. Sounds like this. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change how operator is going to work so that all of the waves are going to play at the same time. So we're going to go into this functionality and make yours look like mine. Okay, this will make sure they all interact off each other the way we want. Okay, next let's go to oscillator B. We're also going to change oscillator B to a sawtooth. And in order to get oscillator B to work, you have to turn up the level. And more importantly, we're going to work with the fine frequency knob. This is going to put the oscillator slightly out of pitch so that these waves can really work off of each other. So as I play it, I'm going to turn up the fine frequency. Okay, you can play with that to find something you like. Oops, I just saw I made a mistake. This needs to be a sawtooth. There we go. Okay, so we have oscillator A happening, we have oscillator B happening. Let's go to oscillator C. We're also going to make that a sawtooth. And we are going to turn the level up for oscillator C. But this time we're going to work with the coarse knob. We're going to put the coarse knob at 2, which is going to send this up an octave. And again, we're going to work with the fine frequency. So you can find something you like. Okay, so once you have settings you like, we are done with the very first part. Next thing we're going to do is you're going to record a bit of a MIDI clip. You're going to arm the track. You're going to press A on the computer. Record arm it, and then press record. You're going to hold down A for a second. Okay? Next thing, I want to move this over, by the way. There we go. Next thing you're going to do is you want to record this MIDI clip and make it audio. So go to a blank audio track. Where it says extension in, you want to record the operator. There we go. You're going to record arm that track. And you're going to simply press play. It's going to sound like this. Sorry, you're not going to press play. You're going to press record at the top. Okay, now we've turned this into an audio track. I'm going to turn off that track. Okay? Next step, Command-Shift-T, get a new instrument going. Go into Instruments, bring a sampler onto the track. Whoops. You're going to drag that audio that you recorded, this audio into the sampler, like this. Okay? Now, when you trigger the sampler, since it was a C that you recorded, the root key should stay at C. I'm going to press X a couple times to shoot it up a couple octaves. Okay, and now when you play on a keyboard or you play on your computer keyboard, it's going to be the correct notes. Okay. Okay, now that we have this in the sampler, couple things. Go to the filter section. You want to set the volume here to 0. Yours might not be at 0. And it says voices. We only want one voice because it's a bass, so we don't want more than one note playing at once. Okay? Okay. Next, go to the sample, back to the sample window, and you can choose, you can go to sustain mode. I would choose either this or this. You can try both of these functions out. And we're going to use the loop function to get more of that Reese sound. So if I hold down my key, it's going to loop this small section. And you guys can change how long you want the loop to be. Okay? And you can move the loop bar around to different parts of your sample, so you can find which part of the sample you want to be looped. Okay, so I want you to experiment with a section that you like. Kind of like it like this. Next, you can turn snap on, which will make it a little bit more even. If you hear it making little sound, you have to adjust the length of the loop until the snapping or the clipping goes away. Okay, next, I want you guys going to pitch oscillator. I want you to turn glide on right here, and I want you to mess with the time. The glide is in between two notes, so you can try different amounts until you're happy with the glide. Most people put it somewhere between 80 and 150 maybe. Again, it's totally up to you to mess with the glide time. You guys should be able to hear the glide at this point. Final thing you might want to do is to speed it out, or to smooth it out, is by using the crossfade. And there you go, a somewhat Reese-like bass, and go forth and use it within your drum and bass projects. Bye.